Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, man, you guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about how Saquon Barkley has exposed LeBron James. That's right, guys. LeBron James has been exposed. His stat chasing has been exposed by Saquon Barkley. If you guys don't know, Saquon Barkley sat out the Eagles' last game on Sunday versus the New York Giants. My lowly New York Giants, worst season in franchise history. But he sat out the game when he was on the cusp of breaking Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record. And it's a very hallowed record, man. It's a very respected record, Eric Dickerson's single-season rushing record, man, in the NFL's history. And Saquon Barkley had a chance to break the record, but he sat out the game. They sat Saquon Barkley out the last game. Instead of putting him in there to chase stats, they sat him out to chase wins, right? Because they're worried about winning instead of the stats. And Saquon Barkley had no problems with this. I didn't hear him or see him complaining about it or making a big deal or stink about it because he understands what's at stake. They're trying to win a championship, a Super Bowl. So we're going to talk about this video because we all know LeBron James has been chasing stats for a long time in his career, man. He never chased the wins. And Saquon Barkley exposed him, man, by being a true professional. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states has been supporting my channel. Once again, guys, I am truly humbled by all the support, man. It really means a lot. Shout out to everybody in the membership, man. All the true supporters, man. Shout out to my man Chip Ferguson who'll be hitting me up. My man Howard Hollins. Shout out to all you guys, man, that be sending me messages. My man CP. Shout out to my man Bosun. BTG the Don. Just my man Micah. Thank you to all you guys, man, have been hitting me up, man. Just like I said, it means a lot, guys. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk about how LeBron James was exposed by Saquon Barkley. Now, I'm not going to do a super long video on this because it's really a cut and dry case here, guys. The facts are the facts. It's quite simple. Saquon Barkley could have played for stats in that last game, right? He could have made a big deal about not playing the last game, and he could have been playing for Eric Dickerson's rushing record, right? I believe he was 101 yards away from breaking Eric Dickerson's single rushing record. Now, off the top, let me be very clear here. When it comes to the NFL, let's not forget the NFL extended their season to 17 games. So remember, a lot of these records that were set by these players, they were set in a 16-game season, guys. So it's not really fair, I guess, quote unquote, really fair to we should have almost another record book for these guys. There should be an asterisk, not as in a negative, like, oh, these guys were cheating. Put an asterisk next to their numbers. No, but put an asterisk and say, hey, listen, the NFL went to 17 games. So if Saquon Barkley would have played the game on Sunday, let's say, and broke in the record set by Eric Dickerson, to me, it wouldn't be the equal or be the same. It wouldn't have been the same thing. It would have been impressive what Saquon Barkley's done. Super impressive. Because on the flip side, there's not as much of a running, like running in the NFL is not what it used to be. Back in the day, running was a major part of the game. Now it's mostly passing we see, right? Passing has taken over the NFL, right? Teams just throwing all these passes, 40, 50, 60 pass attempts in the game, some of these teams. And the rushing has become less and less, right? Running backs are becoming more obsolete. So we can argue that Saquon Barkley has got all these yards in an era of NFL where running is not the way it used to be. And back in the day, having a good running back, a great running back, was the key for your team to be successful. You needed a good running attack, but you needed a balanced attack of pass and run. But also we must remember, like I said, those guys played 16-game seasons. These guys are playing 17-game seasons now. So it's not really exactly the same thing. Like, what if Eric Dickerson's rushing total would have been if he had an extra game to play? Emmitt Smith, how many yards would he have accumulated if he was playing 17-game seasons his whole career, right? Walter Payton, some of these other great players. I mean, back in the day when, like, Jim Brown was playing, these guys were playing nowhere near the amount of games that these guys are playing today. So we have to remember that. But regardless, right? Nevertheless, what Saquon Barkley was doing this season was spectacular, man. This guy left the Giants, man, and he was just sensational this season, man. It was really, I was happy for him, but it was sad as a Giants fan because You know, we knew what we had with him. I knew Saquon Barkley was his dude. My problem with Saquon Barkley was always his health. But recently, he's been healthy, and he's been out there on the field doing his thing. And like I said, he really exposes LeBron James and really a lot of these guys in the NBA and how they approach the game. Their approach to the game is statistical based. They're worried about the stats that they're getting, right? And a lot of people base their opinions off of these players in the NBA based off their stats, right? Not necessarily the impact or the winning. And the reason why we highlight that now more so than ever is because these stats are inflated in this era. Over the last 10 seasons, stats have become pretty much obsolete as far as comparing stats from this era to past eras. You can't do it. It's completely a night and day. It's a completely different league. So we say that these guys are out here chasing stats instead of chasing the wins. Stats are going to come. You're going to get your stats in this era. But you guys should be chasing winning. You guys should be more of competitors, right? Going out there and giving that effort, but instead they're load managing, they're lollygagging, they're flopping. They're not really playing to win games. They're out here stat padding and things of that nature. And LeBron James, we've accused this man, and it's been obvious that he's out there chasing numbers, chasing stats. Remember, he wore that shirt years ago. Check my stats. Remember, LeBron James said after game 2 of the NBA Finals, when they were losing 2 games to nothing, they asked him, and he's like, "Oh, I'm averaging a triple-double." So what? You're averaging a triple-double. Your team is down 2 games to nothing, guy. You guys are getting your butts kicked out here. Or that might have even been down when they were down 3 games to nothing. I don't remember. But he talking about, "Oh, I'm averaging triple-double." So he's just talking about stats. You guys remember that post-game press conference he came to and he started reading off his stat line? "Oh, my plus-minus was this. I had this many rebounds." He started reading off his stat line. It was cringeworthy, guys. That's what LeBron James is straight cringe, man, in these post games. We're talking about these stats because he's never chasing the winning. And what have we talked about this season? This season is obvious. But LeBron James ain't doing nothing out there but accumulating stats. He's not playing winning basketball. That's why you're negative 100 and, negative 117 on the season or whatever he is. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous for you to be that far negative when they want us to promote your stats, though. Your stats having no impact, but you're out there playing for stats. You're not playing to win games. Your mind and your focus is not on the championships. That's why I always say he's out here chasing Michael Jordan, but you're not chasing Michael Jordan the right way. You're not chasing Michael Jordan in the appropriate things, not championships or finals MVPs. You're not chasing Michael Jordan in integrity. You're not chasing him in honor. You're not trying to earn the respect of Michael Jordan that he earned. You're not trying to be a true competitor. Are you trying to chase his competitiveness or the fire or being a closer like Michael Jordan? Stop choking up at the end of these games and fumbling and bumbling around the court. Nope. Never worked on his game like Michael Jordan did. None of this stuff. So you're chasing Michael Jordan in meaningless stats. So you'll be out there in the game, in late in games, your team up by a lot, your team down by a lot. There goes LeBron James, still in the game, chucking up all these shots, man. Stat chasing. Saquon Barkley could have done this. He could have played against the Giants on Sunday. He could have made a big deal about it. He could have been a diva. He could have been like, "Man, you guys can't take me out this last game, man. I need to get this record. This is important to me to get this record. It means a lot for me to get this record." Saquon Barkley, like I said, was 101 yards away from breaking the record. And like I said, he went over 2,000 yards this season, which is incredible. I mean, Saquon Barkley's season, man. This guy was, like I said, man, just a great season, man, for Saquon Barkley, individual. The last guy that came close to breaking this record, if I remember correctly, was Adrian Peterson. And Adrian Peterson was close as hell. I mean, I remember watching that game, and Adrian Peterson was sensational that season. Remember, that was the season he came back from the ACL injury. That's how crazy, Adrian Peterson was, the physical freak this man was. Just sensational. Man came back from a destroyed knee and went on a tear the following season, man. Just went nuts and went out there, and I believe he ended up like 20 yards or 10 yards away from Eric Dickerson's record. As a matter of fact, if I remember correctly, when I was watching that game, I believe when they took Adrian Peterson at the end of that game, I think that they thought that he had broke the record. I think that they thought he did. I think Adrian Peterson thought that he did. Because I remember seeing him, and it was almost like he was coming off the field with a look of content, with like, damn, man, I can't believe I just did this. And he fell short by a couple of yards. If I remember, I could be off on this, but I could have pretty much sure that Adrian Peterson was very close. But Saquon Barkley, and that was when there was only 16 games. That was a legit record, man. 16 games. It's not like 17 games now, and these guys are doing it. Like you guys saw Mike Evans just tie Jerry Rice for consecutive 1,000-yard seasons. And that's no knock on Mike Evans, man. He's a great wide receiver, man. One of the great receivers of his era, man. No knock on him at all. But it's not the same thing what Jerry Rice was doing in a 16-game season, man. And once again, the era that Jerry Rice played in, when these guys could jam you off the line a lot more. I mean, think about what the cornerbacks could do to wide receivers back in the 80s and the 90s. They could jam you up hard. They could throw you down to the ground. They could assault you, within those 5 yards, man. Now they can't do any of this kind of stuff. So Jerry Rice was, getting these yards, catching these passes in a much more, it was a different era, guys. Like I said, it was a much more dangerous era. These guys could really hurt you over the middle. There was no really protection for the wide receivers or the quarterbacks that there is today. So it was just a different era. So you just saw that, but I don't really, think that what Mike Evans did is equivalent to what Jerry Rice was doing, man. Once again, a 17-game season versus a 16-game season. So remember, if you look at the way that Mike Evans cheesed that record, to me, it was kind of cheesy, man. They threw him that pass at the end of the game. And listen, I get it, man. I'm not knocking him or knocking the Bucs for getting that milestone from Mike Evans. I get all that, but it's just not the same, guys. Like I said, you had a whole extra game. And not only did you have a whole extra game, you needed every last second of that last game to get that those receiving yards, man. So to me, it's not really the same. But I really respect what Saquon Barkley did, what the Eagles did. Like I said, they weren't playing for stats. And like I said, Saquon Barkley didn't make a big deal. He could have made a big deal about this. He could have made a stink about it. He could have cried and moaned and been a diva about this. Like, yo, man, you guys are keeping me out of the record books. Because we all know if LeBron James was coming up on a record, right? And there was one game left in the season, and they were like, "Hey, LeBron James, we're gonna rest you for this last game, man. We wanna be ready and rested and healthy for the postseason run." LeBron James wouldn't have accepted that. He wouldn't have done that. LeBron James has never sat out a game for a team or to benefit the team. He always sits out to benefit himself. Right? Because he wants to load manage. He wants to duck out on certain games. He wants to take this opportunity to miss games because he saw the schedule and there's going to be a couple of days off. He never does these kinds of things in a classy move or an honorable move. This was an honorable move from Saquon Barkley, man. And who knows, maybe deep down inside he understood that really no one was going to really put that record, into that realm above Eric Dickerson, because it would have been, like I said, it would have been a different, you had to put an asterisk there. Like I said, not in a negative way, like, oh man, this guy cheated to get the yards, but you would have to put an asterisk and then you'd have to say 17-game season. All right, it's not the same, guys. All right, it's just not, especially in football, man. Football is a much more different sport than basketball. Much different. So much respect to Saquon Barkley for exposing LeBron James and his stat padding ways and not going out there and chasing stats and chasing records, but chasing wins, right? Saquon Barkley is there to win a Super Bowl. That's why he's there, right? Is he not? Right? That's part of the reason why he ain't on the Giants no more. The Giants are not a contender. The Giants are not serious about contending. That's why they didn't bring back a Saquon Barkley or some of the other pieces that they've let go over the several years. These guys are a bunch of goofs there, but the Giants still keep their coach. It don't make no sense, man. The New England Patriots fired their coach after one season, but the New York Giants keep this guy Dayball around for another season after they just had their worst season in franchise history. Do you guys realize the New York Giants are one of the original franchises in the NFL? They're one of the original franchises, which means that they've been around for like 100 years. And it's the worst season in the franchise history, guys. But they keep him around. It's insane, man. So much respect to Saquon Barkley. LeBron James, once again, is exposed by another professional athlete, by a professional. Exposing LeBron James. And this guy, Saquon Barkley, is younger than LeBron James. Once again, LeBron James should be leading these guys. He should be leading by example. He should be showing the other professional athletes what it takes to be a professional, how you should conduct yourself, how to be honorable. But instead, LeBron James out there chasing numbers that are meaningless, that mean nothing. He's not chasing any wins. The man hasn't won an MVP in over 10 seasons, hasn't won a real legit championship ever in his career. Like I said, he hasn't carried the Lakers to a title or led them to a title. There was Anthony Davis that carried them in 2020. But once again, that wasn't a legit championship. So once again, LeBron James is not really being honorable. He's not carrying himself with the class. This is why he hasn't earned the respect. What Saquon Barkley did was respectable. He earned respect, I'm sure, of a lot of people out there with that move. That was an honorable, classy move that they made. And once again, they were focused on the actual, prize, what they're supposed to actually be playing for, which is the championship, a Super Bowl, man. And we all know in the NFL, it's really, really hard to win a Super Bowl, man. You need everyone doing their job, everyone healthy. You need a little bit of luck in the Super Bowl in the NFL. In the NBA, you got a couple of good players. You could be a contender just like that, especially in this weak era of NBA. So LeBron James hasn't won a legit championship ever. The man's not won a legit championship in LA. He hasn't won an MVP in his 30s, hasn't made an all-defensive team in 30s. So essentially, he hasn't been playing half the game. He's standing around on defense, just playing offense. And Saquon Barkley exposed him, just like Giannis exposed LeBron James when he didn't pop the champagne after they won the in-season tournament, right? He didn't pop the champagne and carry on and put the goggles on and start pouring champagne and drinking out of the cup and carrying on like a bunch of clowns because they understood that's not the goal of the season, to win an in-season tournament. That means nothing to them. So Giannis exposed LeBron James. Once again, a younger player exposing and basically showing LeBron James what it takes to be a true professional, what it takes to be a true competitor. LeBron James is 40 years old. He's out here being taught lessons by guys that are over 10 years younger than him. This is why I tell you, LeBron James hasn't learned from anything. He hasn't developed or matured throughout his career. You're still goofing around, not taking any accountability, still playing for stats. You're still chasing stats. You're not worried about winning games. Not worried about winning games. Remember, he said it was just basketball. But then he turned around and said, I love this game. I just love this game. So you just love this game, but you just said a couple months ago, it's just basketball, guys. Oh, it's just basketball. It's no big deal. Which one is it, LeBron James? I'll tell you, these guys are clowns, man. They have no integrity. They don't care about the game. You think LeBron James cares about the game? He don't care about the game. That's why he's out here chasing stats, cheating the game. You're not out there playing the game the right way. At least Saquon Barkley can say he's not cheating the game, man. He's out there playing the game the right way. And he did a classy move out there, man. So much respect to Saquon Barkley for exposing LeBron James as a stat chaser, man. Once again, these guys are being true professionals, and they're showing LeBron James is not a true professional. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.